Have you noticed small changes that feel easy to explain away? A little more sleep, less appetite, less interest in talking. Most people call this normal aging, or simple tiredness. But sometimes, these changes are not random at all. They are quiet signals. Signals the body sends when its strength is slowly fading. What makes these signs dangerous is how ordinary they look. Nothing dramatic happens. No alarms. No sudden collapse. Instead, the body begins to conserve energy. It chooses rest over movement, silence over conversation, small meals over full plates. Families often miss this stage completely, not because they do not care, but because the signs feel too gentle to worry about. A loved one naps longer each afternoon. Dinner is left unfinished again. Questions are answered with fewer words. These moments do not feel urgent, so they are postponed. Tomorrow feels like it will be clearer. Yet quietly, the body is doing something important. It is letting go of what it can no longer sustain. Muscle strength weakens. Mental clarity strains. Emotional energy pulls inward. This is not about giving up. It is about understanding what is happening beneath the surface. When families recognize these signs early, everything changes. Confusion becomes awareness. Fear softens into presence. Instead of pushing for normal, they offer comfort. Instead of frustration, they offer patience. These moments matter more than many people realize, because how we respond now shapes the peace that follows. In the next section, we will look at the first quiet sign most families overlook. Number 1. Changes in sleep patterns. One of the earliest signs families often overlook involves sleep quietly shifting out of balance. An older adult may begin sleeping far more during the day. At night, they may struggle to rest or wake repeatedly. At first, this seems harmless. Most people assume it is aging, boredom, or a poor night's sleep. Some blame television habits or lack of daytime activity. But beneath the surface, something deeper may be happening. The body may be entering a phase of conservation. Energy once used for movement, digestion, and alertness becomes limited. When reserves decline, the body chooses rest whenever possible. Sleep becomes less refreshing. Awake hours become shorter and more scattered. The internal rhythm that once guided day and night begins to weaken. Daytime and nighttime slowly blur together. This shift often happens quietly, without pain or complaint. I remember a man named Harold, 81 years old. He enjoyed routine and rarely changed his habits. Every afternoon, he watched the same baseball replays. Then his daughter noticed something small. He could not stay awake past the first inning. Within weeks, his naps stretched longer each day. Soon, Harold slept nearly 18 hours daily. At night, he wandered the hallway while the house slept. He was calm, but restless. His family thought it was poor sleep hygiene. They tried earlier bedtimes and brighter mornings. Nothing helped. Later, a professional explained what was happening. Harold's body was slowly reducing activity. His internal clock no longer held steady. This change was not a disorder. It was a signal. When families miss this signal, tension often grows. They push for routines that no longer fit. They wake their loved one repeatedly. This creates frustration on both sides. The body resists. The mind withdraws further. A gentler response can make a meaningful difference. Start by observing patterns without judgment. Use a small notebook or phone notes. Track nighttime sleep and daytime rest for 1 week. Notice total hours, not just bedtime. Pay attention to restlessness and pacing. If sleep regularly exceeds 15 or 16 hours, take note. Share the observation calmly with a professional. Naming the change can guide better support. More importantly, shift how you respond emotionally. Do not fight the need for rest. Meet it with presence instead. Sit nearby while they sleep. Read softly. Hold a hand. These moments are not wasted. They are opportunities for quiet connection. Recognizing this sign is not surrender. It is awareness. It is choosing care over control. And as we move forward, sleep is only the first signal. Next, we will look at another change families often dismiss too easily. Number 2. Loss of appetite. This sign often appears quietly and grows easier to excuse over time. A loved one begins leaving food untouched. Favorite meals no longer bring interest or enjoyment. Families often explain it away quickly. They assume a passing mood, a change in taste, or a side effect of medication. But when eating steadily declines, the body may be sending a deeper message. This is not simple stubbornness. It is not always sadness. The body may be shifting priorities. Digestion becomes harder to sustain. Energy must be carefully preserved. Meals that once felt comforting now feel exhausting. Even chewing can require effort. Swallowing may feel heavy. I remember a woman named Ethel, 82 years old. For decades, she baked apple pies every Sunday. Cinnamon filled her kitchen after church each week. Her family gathered around the table without fail. Food was how she showed love. Food was how she stayed connected. One autumn, something small changed. Ethel barely touched her slice of pie. The following week, she skipped dessert entirely. At first, no one worried. They assumed her appetite would return. But it did not. Within 2 months, her weight dropped noticeably. Her energy faded. Meals became shorter and quieter. Her family feared emotional withdrawal. They worried she was giving up. But a gentle explanation brought clarity. Her body was conserving energy. It was letting go of non-essential work. Digestion no longer ranked high. This shift is biological, not emotional. The body redirects strength toward essential systems. The heart and lungs take priority. For families, this change can feel painful. Food has always meant care. An empty plate feels like failure. This is where many people make a mistake. They push meals harder. They insist on finishing plates. But forcing food can cause discomfort. It can strain the body further. It can steal peace from the moment. A gentler approach matters now. Think smaller. Think softer. Offer a few spoonfuls, not full plates. Warm broth. Soft fruit. Mashed vegetables. Watch without pressure. Observe without judgment. Let choice remain where possible. Keep simple notes for a week. Notice portions and interest. Share observations calmly with a professional. Most importantly, remember what meals represent now. They are no longer about nutrition alone. They are about comfort and presence. Sit beside them while they eat. Share a memory. Hum a familiar tune. Love is not measured by calories consumed. It is measured by gentleness offered. If this insight resonates with you, pause for a moment. Type number 2 in the comments below. It helps others feel less alone. And if you value calm, thoughtful guidance like this, consider subscribing. Turn on the bell to stay connected. Your support allows this channel to continue. Loss of appetite is only one quiet signal. Another change often appears soon after. Next, we will look at how withdrawal from conversation can speak volumes. Number 3. Social withdrawal. This sign often hurts families the most. Because it feels personal, even when it is not. A loved one slowly pulls away from familiar connections. Phone calls go unanswered. Visits feel shorter. Silence replaces conversation. At first, this looks like tiredness, or a low mood, or simply needing space. But when withdrawal deepens, something else may be happening. The body and mind may be turning inward, not in sadness, but in preparation. People who once loved company may now prefer quiet. Crowds feel draining. Even familiar voices feel heavy. I remember a man named Franklin, 84 years old. He never missed Friday poker night. He wore a lucky hat and shared peppermints. Laughter filled the room every week. Then, gradually, he stopped going. No arguments. No explanation. He missed one night. Then another. Soon, he stayed home entirely. He stopped answering calls from friends. Even his grandson heard less from him. His world became smaller. His daughter assumed exhaustion. She encouraged visits and conversation. But Franklin seemed overwhelmed by attention. Later, a gentle explanation brought clarity. This was not rejection. It was inward focus. As strength fades, social energy often fades first. The mind seeks calm. Noise feels intrusive. This withdrawal is not always depression. It can be reflection. A quiet sorting of thoughts and memories. For families, this change can feel painful. It may feel like being pushed away. But it is not about distance. It is about conserving emotional energy. About choosing stillness over stimulation. The most helpful response is gentle presence. Not pressure. Not questions. Sit nearby without expectations. Read quietly. Play soft music they once loved. A short greeting may mean more than long conversations. A warm touch can speak louder than words. Let them guide the pace of connection. Follow their comfort, not your fear. Do not take this withdrawal personally. They are not leaving you behind. They are turning inward. Sometimes the deepest act of love is permission. Permission to be quiet. Permission to rest emotionally. Social withdrawal is a powerful signal. But it is not the last one. Another change often follows closely. Next, we will explore how confusion and mental fog quietly enter this stage. Number 4. Conversations with the unseen. This sign often surprises families and leaves them unsure how to respond. A loved one may speak to someone who is no longer present. They may drift between clarity and moments that feel out of place. To observers, this can feel unsettling. But to the person experiencing it, these moments may feel calm. Sometimes, they even feel reassuring. A person may mention a familiar name. They may smile while speaking softly. They may pause, as if listening. I remember a man named Vernon, 86 years old. He remained sharp in many ways. He remembered birthdays and sang old songs. In the evenings, his daughter noticed a change. She heard him speaking quietly in the living room. One night, he said a familiar name with warmth. It was the name of his wife, gone for years. His voice was steady. There was no fear. His daughter worried something was wrong. She wondered if confusion was taking hold. But a calm explanation helped her understand. As the body weakens, perception can shift. Memories may surface more vividly. Time may feel less linear. These experiences are not always distressing. Often they bring comfort. They can soften fear during a fragile stage. Families sometimes make a common mistake here. They try to correct what they hear. They say, "That isn't real." This response can cause quiet distress. It can interrupt a moment of peace. It can make a loved one withdraw further. A gentler response often works better. Listen without judgment. Allow the moment to unfold naturally. You might ask simple questions. Who are you thinking about? How does it make you feel? Some people share memories never spoken before. Others simply enjoy the feeling of connection. These moments can be deeply meaningful. Think of this not as losing reality. Think of it as entering a different inner space. A space where reflection replaces logic. Your role is not to correct. Your role is to accompany. To sit quietly and offer steadiness. Presence matters more than explanations here. A calm voice can ground the moment. A gentle touch can bring reassurance. If this perspective feels helpful, pause briefly. Type number 4 in the comments below. It lets others know they are not alone. And if these insights support you, consider subscribing. Turn on the bell to stay connected. Your support helps this channel continue calmly. Conversations with the unseen are only one signal. Another physical change often follows closely. Next, we will look at how breathing patterns begin to shift. Number 5. Loss of physical strength. This change is often one of the clearest and most misunderstood signs. It does not look like normal aging. It feels faster, more noticeable. Simple actions suddenly require great effort. Standing up feels heavy. Walking feels unsteady. Holding objects becomes tiring. This weakness can appear without warning. There may be no illness, no fall, no obvious cause. I remember a woman named Carmen, 83 years old. She treasured her quiet morning routine. Each day felt familiar and steady. She walked to the mailbox. She tended her roses. She cared deeply for her home. One spring morning, her daughter noticed something different. Carmen struggled to rise from her chair. Her movements looked slower and uncertain. Days later, she needed help reaching the bathroom. There had been no injury, no dramatic event. Her body was quietly shifting. Strength was no longer easy to access. Energy felt limited. As the body enters a fragile phase, priorities change. Muscles require constant energy to stay strong. When reserves decline, muscles are often released first. The body redirects strength toward essential functions. Breathing, circulation, stability. This weakness is not laziness. It is not lack of effort. It is conservation. Many families misunderstand this moment. They encourage pushing harder. They believe movement will restore strength. Sometimes, this creates strain instead of support. The body resists. The spirit feels blamed. Pressure can increase the risk of injury. It can also create emotional frustration. What feels like motivation can feel like failure. A safer approach begins with acceptance. Safety before stamina. Support before expectations. Make small changes in the environment. Remove loose rugs. Add stable handholds. Place chairs where rest is needed. Allow frequent pauses. Reduce unnecessary movement demands. Offer help without guilt. Without disappointment. Without urgency. When strength fades, the body is communicating clearly. It is asking for gentleness. It is asking for patience. Meeting this change with compassion matters deeply. It preserves dignity. It reduces fear. Support does not mean giving up. It means adapting wisely. It means listening closely. By responding with care, you protect both body and spirit. Frustration becomes understanding. Pressure becomes presence. Loss of strength is a powerful signal, but it is not the final one. Another change often appears soon after. Next, we will explore how the body's circulation and temperature begin to shift. Number 6. Changes in breathing patterns. This sign often causes the most fear for families watching closely. Breathing begins to feel unfamiliar. The rhythm no longer feels steady. At first, the change may be subtle. Breaths become shallow, then suddenly faster. Later, pauses may appear between breaths. The chest rises. Then stillness follows. These pauses can feel endless to someone watching. They may last only seconds, but they feel much longer. For the person experiencing this, discomfort is often minimal. Many remain calm. Some seem unaware of the change. I remember a man named Raymond, 79 years old. He was a retired firefighter, strong and steady for most of his life. In his final weeks, his wife noticed something new. During naps, his breathing changed rhythm. Quick breaths came and went. Then silence followed. Elaine would freeze, afraid to move. She held her breath, waiting. Moments later, his breathing returned softly, as if nothing had happened, as if the pause was natural. At first, fear took over. She worried each pause meant loss. She felt helpless watching. Later, a calm explanation eased her worry. As strength fades, breathing patterns often shift. The body adapts quietly. The heart and lungs no longer work at full capacity. Energy must be conserved. Rhythms slow and reorganize. Breathing may come in waves, followed by rest, then return again. This pattern looks alarming from the outside, but it is rarely distressing for the person. Often, it feels peaceful. The greatest challenge here is how families respond. Fear can trigger urgency. Urgency can disrupt calm. Many mistake this for a crisis. They rush to intervene. They search for fixes. But sometimes, nothing needs fixing. The body is not failing suddenly. It is transitioning gently. The most helpful focus now is comfort. Create a quiet environment. Reduce noise and stimulation. Elevate the head slightly with pillows. Allow fresh air if comfortable. Keep lighting soft. Speak calmly when you speak. Use familiar words. Even silence can be reassuring. Physical presence matters deeply here. Hold their hand. Sit nearby. Even without response, they may sense you. Touch can anchor calm. Presence can reduce strain. Elaine later reflected on those moments. Once fear faded, love took its place. She stopped watching the clock. She listened instead. To the gentle rhythm of breathing. To the quiet of the room. She realized she was not meant to control the moment. She was meant to share it. That understanding changed everything. If this insight resonates with you, pause briefly. Type number 6 in the comments below. It helps others feel seen. And if these calm explanations support you, consider subscribing. Turn on the bell to stay connected. Your support keeps this space gentle and steady. Breathing changes are powerful signals. But one final sign often appears near the end. Next, we will explore how the body's temperature and circulation begin to change. Number 7. Emotional preparation and letting go. This sign does not always appear in the body. It often appears quietly in words, actions, and choices. Many people begin preparing emotionally before the body fully slows. They reflect more. They speak differently. Some bring up old memories without being asked. Others mention regrets they never shared before. There is often a desire for closure. This preparation can be subtle, but once noticed, it feels unmistakable. A person may reach out to someone from the past. A call they delayed for years suddenly feels urgent. Silence that once felt safe now feels heavy. Others begin giving things away. Not randomly, but carefully, with meaning. Each object carries a story. Each gesture feels intentional. I remember a man named Lawrence. 85 years old. He lived quietly in Nevada. He was practical and reserved most of his life. One morning, he asked to speak with his brother. They had not spoken in 15 years. No one remembered why. The distance had simply remained. Unspoken. Unresolved. Lawrence said little about it. He only said it felt important now. He did not want to wait longer. Later that month, he began giving away his tools. Each one had a memory attached. A job completed. A lesson learned. He handed them slowly. With care. With words that mattered. His daughter worried. She thought this meant he was giving up. She feared it was a bad sign. But a calm explanation changed her understanding. This was not surrender. It was preparation. As life narrows, unfinished matters come forward. Not to cause pain, but to bring peace. Many people feel a strong pull to resolve things. Emotional loose ends feel heavier now. They want clarity. They want forgiveness. They want to be understood. These actions are not about loss. They are about legacy. Families sometimes misread these moments. They try to stop them. They say it is unnecessary. But interrupting this process can cause distress. It can leave words unsaid. It can leave meaning unfinished. A gentler response allows connection. If they ask to call someone, help them. If they want to share memories, listen. If they want to give something away, allow it. Even if the object seems small, meaning matters more than value. These moments are rare gifts. They carry wisdom. They carry truth. Listening matters more than reassuring. Presence matters more than fixing. Sometimes, all that is needed is space. Space to speak. Space to remember. By allowing emotional preparation, families support dignity. They help create peace. They reduce fear on both sides. This stage is deeply human. It reflects awareness. It reflects acceptance. Letting go does not mean leaving love behind. It often means expressing love more clearly. Emotional preparation is often the final quiet signal. It brings everything together. Body, mind, and heart align. Thank you for staying with me until the end. What we have explored together today is not meant to frighten. It is meant to bring understanding. These 7 signs are not random. They are connected. They follow a gentle pattern. Changes in sleep. Loss of appetite. Social withdrawal. Shifts in perception. Loss of strength. Changes in breathing. And finally, emotional preparation. Each sign reflects the body and spirit adjusting. Not in panic, but in transition. Recognizing these signs does not mean giving up hope. It means changing how we respond. Instead of pushing for normal, we lean into gentleness. Instead of correcting, we listen. Instead of rushing, we stay present. For families, this awareness changes everything. Frustration becomes patience. Fear becomes understanding. Moments that feel confusing gain meaning. Silence becomes connection. Stillness becomes love. For those noticing these signs in themselves, there is no alarm here. This is part of life's natural rhythm. A movement toward rest. Acknowledging it can bring peace. Resistance softens. Dignity takes the lead. Care at this stage is not about doing more. It is about being more present. A hand held quietly can mean everything. A soft word can last forever. We cannot control the timing, but we can shape the experience. Love does not end at this stage. It often deepens. And sometimes, the greatest care we offer is simply staying, listening, letting them know they are not alone. If this video helped you understand something more clearly, let me know below. Share one insight that stayed with you. Your words may help someone else feel less alone. If you value calm, thoughtful conversations about aging, consider subscribing. Turn on the bell so you do not miss future videos. Thank you for being here. I look forward to sharing the next conversation with you.